righty, this is the main event here on the Inside Edge Net. We have two guys at Brothers Lounge in Lakewood, the other one in the comfort of his own home. The first dual remote session here of the main event. What can go wrong? Obviously, you're only seeing two people, so something has gone wrong. We got Anthony Alford over here. I am Rob Rozycki. Eli Moon is wandering through said Brothers Lounge in Lakewood, running an event, trying to host a show, and looking for Wi-Fi all at the same time, multitasking at his finest. Anthony, I'd ask you how you're normally doing at this point in time, but what the hell's going on over there?
Yeah, so this is Eli's event, Moon Bash. This is night 2 of Moon Bash. And again, we were here as a network yesterday. We want to thank the artists. We want to thank Brothers Lounge here at the west side of Cleveland, West 117th in Detroit. Should be here at any point in time. They do a lot of events, a lot of cool music, drinks. The food here is fantastic. Any kind of wings you get here is good. Any kind. I got the lemon pepper one, so it's great time. But this is Eli's event. Moon Bash, he collected over 50 music artists and DJs performing all day yesterday and some here today, right now, actually. So it's a great time and happy to be here. Technology, the setup for today's show is a show within itself, but we're here. We're ready to go. And Eli will pop in from time to time. But Rob, I know back at home base, you're feeling pretty good right now. Good weather.
I'm great. I mean, yeah, you're apologizing. You apologized to me about 3 or 4 times while we were setting up the show, and I reiterated to you before. I'm like, I'm in the comfort of my own home. I've got a lovely girlfriend. I have a competitive dodgeball with arrows on the TV right now. I had a roast beef sandwich and some steamed carrots. We're doing pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, we're fine. I mean, it's going to be a little bit shorter show than normal. We're going to be going all the way till midnight because that's when Brothers is going to turn the power off on us, but yeah, we have an action. Yeah, and it's kind of a pity that we have the time constraints tonight because we do have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we saw it happen. It was 11:30 on Friday after. Are you giving me the one finger? Or are you giving? Okay, yeah, double A's. I forgot you're in public.
No, Eli's on the other side of the screen working right now. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. No, we saw it. But yeah, I mean, back to the news of the day, though. News of the weekend? 11:30. He did it just in time for a lot of the radio shows to have a half hour with it, and then all weekend, LeBron James surprising the NBA world, not with picking his team. I think we were all kind of waiting for that to happen, but the team he picked, surprising everybody. And I'm looking at a nice column here by Brian Windhurst trying to explain himself here on why he was blatantly wrong. The reason why he was wrong is because he went to Philadelphia, and nobody really thought that was ever a true option. It heated up with a few days to go. I think this past week, it did heat up as kind of a potential destination, but it's surprising the entire NBA landscape. Obviously, there's 13 different ways to look at this thing. We can look at the decision itself. We can look at why. We can look at if it's good. I mean, ultimately, that's where he wanted to go play, and he thinks he has the best chance to win there. We can debate him on that fact, but he thinks that. That's his truth. That's his reality. My question, though, here locally, and obviously Cleveland was in this sweepstakes along with Miami, maybe even Golden State a little bit. But obviously, with all of our previous past and baggage and, peaks and valleys with LeBron, it was a little bit more personal for us. Looking at it, though, as a Cavs fan, are you mad at LeBron, Anthony, or are you mad at the organization for not being able to pull this trigger?
That's a great question. And if you would have asked me this question the day that it went down, Friday, initially and all week long, I would have said the Cavs. But then I realized how much, reportedly, LeBron was asking for to even come here. And I'm thinking, do you really want Kyrie Irving here? Do you really want Anthony Davis here? Two extremely talented players, but you can't trust their health. And I'm here.
Well, I can even ask you, even a bigger point than that. Do you want to blow up the roster? Because that's what that would do.
And the thing
Like,
is,
regardless of who's coming in and what their injury history is.
right. And I want to hear your perspective here in a second. Here, to me, it's not even necessarily the blowing up of the roster, more so than the players he was interested in. And when you talk about Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and also hearing consistently that not having Darius Garland here, which is a whole nother topic in itself, those three guys are injury prone. So you want that on your roster? You want guys who you don't trust that are going to be on the floor on your roster? For all the pieces that have to be like right for LeBron, I don't trust his player evaluations. And I think he went into a perfect situation with Philadelphia. So I can understand being upset with Cleveland and like now you got to make moves. But for everything that Cleveland would have had to sacrifice, I'm good on LeBron. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were going to blow up the roster, and and I disagree slightly with you. I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The fact that the guys that he wanted to bring in were going to be lucky to play 40, 45 games this year collectively. I think it would be a lot of talk of, okay, this big four hasn't played together, more than 8 games, and we're starting the playoffs. I think we'd be having a lot of that. But even more so than that, it's the idea. I don't think this is a roster that needs to be blown up. I never thought of it as a situation that LeBron needed to come in like Cleveland the second time when we just had Kyrie and a bunch of dudes. We had to bring Kevin Love and everybody else in. I didn't think the roster was on that level. I mean, a change or two I get, but the idea, to go get Anthony Davis and Kyrie, that wasn't going to come cheap. Evan Mobley was probably going to have to be on, involved in one of those deals. Jared Allen probably too, maybe even Donovan. Who the hell knows? So I didn't think we needed to do that. And yeah, LeBron, he found himself a situation where, you got Jaylen Brown there, new arrival. You got, Joel Embiid. He's going to be probably playing again 50 games himself. Hopefully it'll be the right 50. And then you got Edgecombe, you got Maxey out there. He's a bona fide third, if not fourth option some nights. He's going to be able to let the young guys be able to, run up and down the court, do all the heavy lifting. And then if he needs to come in and close a game out in the last 4 or 5 minutes, whatever, he can do that. So, all right, he's in a good spot. He's probably made the Sixers, if not the team to beat in the East, probably, at least top 2, maybe top 3 at the worst. So, yeah, he's got a chance to go to the finals. He's got a chance to win the finals. And he doesn't have to be the alpha and omega the whole thing. As for the situation here, I'm not killing the Cavs as much of a lot. You look at Twitter and everyone's, putting this right on Kobe Altman. A, for trading Darius in the first place, and then B, for not getting Jaylen Brown, which I don't know. I don't know if that was an option for those guys. Again, it might have been kind of like the Luka trade where it snuck up on you. You really, I can't fault the GM for making 2 moves or even a series of moves that prevented, yes, LeBron James, but it's a 42-year-old player. It's someone who's not going to be here long term. He is going to help you win, win any games you're going to win. Yeah, like he can still help you win for sure, but you can't make your entire decision-making process on we need to get LeBron here. If this was 2013, okay, I get it, but not 2026. And so I'm not going to kill, and I really can't kill LeBron either. I think LeBron did what we want all of our athletes to do. And that's screw the money. I want to go to a place that I can win. I want to go to a place that will be best for my long-term resume. LeBron, Lord knows, he doesn't need the extra $15 million that he would get in any other team. Like, he found a situation that he wanted to win at. He didn't chase the money. He didn't go for the big bright lights this time. Grant you, the only thing we're pissed off at Cleveland, as Cleveland fans, he didn't pick us. And I think we have a right to be a little irritated about that. But he already came back once. He won a title. Debt's paid. I don't think he owes us much.
Do you think he picked the easiest situation with Philadelphia, who I would have said, even if LeBron wasn't on the team, they would have still been favorites to win the Eastern Conference with Jaylen Brown on the team? You think he picked the easiest situation for him?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he picked the one with the most certainty involved. I think it was a conservative pick. Like Miami may have been better, but they're two, if not three, moves away from really making a roster that's going to be able to compete in the East and against anybody in the West. You look at all the Golden State. It seemed like Draymond Green was kind of turning into girl interrupted here a little bit with that, and single white female and kind of chasing LeBron around. Maybe didn't want to deal with that, and also too, that's putting you out in the Western Conference. That's going to be hellacious to get through. You got San Antonio and Oklahoma City and whoever else is going to be good any given year. So yeah, I mean, with the path he has over here in the East, and the fact that you got Embiid, who, when healthy, yes, he is an Olympic caliber player. Jaylen Brown, he wasn't on the team this year, but he is an Olympic caliber player in his own right. You got two more All-Stars with Edgecombe and Maxey. It seems like Nick Nurse knows what he's doing as a head coach. And also, you got your buddy, Mike Gansey overrunning the team from Cleveland. So, yeah, it seemed like you had the familiarity there. You had the trust in the talent there. And they're not 16 steps away. And they're in the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, you probably had the best of all the worlds there. And I'm also hearing, too, that he could pull a Wilt Chamberlain, and not in the legendary way that he talked about on late night shows.
Oh, that
one. When Wilt was playing for Philly, when he was playing for the Warriors, when they were in Philadelphia, he was living full time in Manhattan and commuting to Philadelphia. So yeah, he's going to be playing for Philadelphia, but he's going to be able to at the very least, commute to New York on business whenever he needs to, if not the other way around. And yeah, he'll get the best of both worlds with the Eastern Coast, and all that money and Hollywood and bright lights out there too.
And that's probably where the family aspect comes into play too, because again, he has a 11 or 12-year-old daughter. Has a Bryce, who's still right now in Arizona. Technically, we'll see what happens. If you believe Ball Sack Sports, he's on his way to Villanova. If you believe that, just to align everything. But yeah, I think you bring up a great point with that. I think this is also telling, Rob, I don't think he was ever a fan of this Cavalier roster. And that goes back to the Darius Garland point a little bit, where, you've been hearing reports that maybe it should have been Donovan Mitchell that was traded, not Darius Garland. What's going to happen in terms of fit? Like, can you imagine, Rob, if he was here, can you imagine James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron James sharing the basketball, and James Harden bringing the ball up the court, which he never does. Like if LeBron is on your team, LeBron's bringing the ball up the floor, not James Harden, who's going to hold the ball for like 15 seconds of the possession.
Well, my thought with that conundrum, if he were to be on the team, that James Harden was going to do exactly what he did in Oklahoma City, and that's come off the bench. I thought he would have been leading the second team, and I don't know if you would have seen LeBron and Harden kind of intersect much, maybe at the closing half and closing of the game. But yeah, that was kind of the what if plan. Or even, there was no assurances in my head anyway that James Harden was going to be back on the roster. Like, he technically did opt out. So he's technically a free agent at this point. The Cavaliers could tell him to kick rocks, conceivably. So, yeah, I think, yeah, he wasn't probably a fan. And I'm sure we keep tipping our hat to the Knicks. They, cleaned San Antonio's clock too. But, before they cleaned San Antonio's clock, they cleaned ours, and it didn't look good. I understand, San Antonio collapsed in their own right too. Ours looked a little different. And I guess with San Antonio too, you could probably put that on the fact that was the first time they were in the finals. Very young team. Best three players have all been in the league 3 or less years. We had a 140-year-old James Harden and a Donovan Mitchell who was in his early 30s. Like, we should have been able to look a little bit better than what we did, at least hold that game one lead. So I wouldn't underestimate that too, with, leaving, a bad taste in LeBron's mouth, because that was the last time we saw the Cavaliers play. We haven't had a chance to look good or prove our worth anything after that. So the last impression was probably the strongest.
And how different would the mentality have been too? Because again, with the Spurs in the finals, they led that series. I believe 75, 76% of the series they led in games, and they just couldn't hold on. But the mental toughness of the Cavaliers has always been, it still is, and will be until things change. The mental toughness has been a question for this team. And LeBron coming in and saying, hey, this is not right. Like, how would that reflect on guys who have not been to an NBA Finals before and overcame adversity and things like that? That would have been a whole different shift if LeBron was here.
Well, yeah, because and even compare us to Philadelphia. Like, yeah, Philadelphia has their own issues. They're not a perfect team. They were knocked out in the second round of the playoffs this year. But in a lot of ways, even though we had a pretty good roster, have a lot of talent, have a lot of experience, LeBron was kind of seen as coming back and saving the franchise again, like being the chosen one, the one that can turn the water into wine. The one that is walking all over the water here. In Philadelphia, he's a hell of a piece. He's a hell of an option. Like he is a more of an ensemble in that one. I think he's going to be expected from a leadership standpoint even to do a little less. Like I don't think he needs to hold these guys' hands the way that he would in Cleveland. And I also think too, one of his memories being in Cleveland is we all seen that picture in game 2 against Golden State and 70 is last year here in 18. He's looking at JR who forgot to score. He's looking at his teammates going, what the hell are you doing? And maybe he looked at Harden and Mitchell and Mobley and Allen about how they all kind of fold up and when crunch time hits and just said, you know what? I don't want to be having the same face and doing the same thing in my twilight years in the NBA. I don't, I'm a little bit, old here to be worried about babies and changing diapers here. I want to be working with grown men. I think that might have been a little bit of it too.
That's an interesting point. Now I got to think about it. I know we don't have much more time, but the idea that in some of these other locations, he wouldn't be looked upon as saving the franchise. Even if he would have went to Miami, because again they had the big deal with Giannis. The Warriors would have been the classic NWO Wolfpack reunion tour there, but it's still Stephen Curry's team.
About as old.
The NWO, very old.
I really think with Miami, it was just too many steps away.
I agree.
That's what it was. And nothing against Giannis, nothing against Bam. I think it was just against the other empty roster spots they have.
But I think your point about if he's here, he becomes, even though it might be Donovan Mitchell's team technically or Evan Mobley's team technically, he's the guy. Everything orbits and runs through LeBron on the floor and off the floor. In Philadelphia, it could be LeBron's team, but you have Jaylen Brown. It could be his team. And then you have your staple, Joel Embiid.
Even Maxey.
And Tyrese Maxey, which is Tyrese Maxey, I believe, is the reason why LeBron's there on top of Jaylen Brown. Like, there are so many options for Philadelphia, and they're going to be a fun watch. And one thing I'll give you real quick, Rob. Have you taken a look? Have you seen the NBA Cup Group B for the NBA Cup? I know you're thinking the NBA Cup in late July.
Yeah, I'm definitely worried about that one. No, are we paired up with a certain team from the city of brotherly love?
We are in the same group as Philadelphia, the New York Knicks, the Indiana Pacers. I believe Boston's in our group as well. And
what the fuck?
And I think Detroit's in our group.
What? Like, we don't get one cream puff in that group. We don't get no Chicago Bulls, no. What the bloody hell?
Let me check the Twitter just to confirm, and I will send it to you. But yes, this is 2026 groups. Oh, I was wrong. Group B, Eastern Conference: Cleveland, New York Knicks, Philadelphia, Indiana, and Miami. That's Group
So
B.
it's all the Eastern Conference LeBron rejects and LeBron's. Okay,
Yes,
that's going to be
and
wonderful.
a returning Tyrese Halliburton. So we will find out in November where we stand.
Yeah, that's awesome here. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I think training camp's going to start around end of October, around top of October, I think. So yeah, we got a couple of months on that one. Obviously, Browns training camp will be starting up soon. We'll be talking that next week too. We have one decision in the books for Cleveland. Now we just got to figure out the other big decision, and that's who the hell is going to be the starting quarterback of this football team. We'll get into the Deshaun and Shador and Dylan Gabriel love triangle coming up next week. But a little bit up next, what are we going to be hitting here? A little Guardians talk here. They are, to use a clinical term here with our baseball team, they're in the shitter. They just lost. They got swept against Tampa Bay. They scored 3 runs total, and that was all in the first game. They have lost 5 in a row overall. Those are the 5 games that Jose Ramirez has been back on the active roster for. We're going to get into that one and figure out how concerned we are. Is this a normal just mid-July swoon, or are we absolutely just completely and utterly screwed? But we'll go through that. Hopefully, we'll be able to get Eli to have a flyby. Right now, I have the 3-on-3 World Paintball Championship on the TV, so I'll be entertained during the break. If you guys need to go grab something to drink, AA, if you need to go reload or figure out what the Wi-Fi is doing.
I got good news going on right now. I'm looking at.
Hey, you know what? As long as it doesn't bleed through and we get flagged again, we've been thrown off Facebook once this month. I don't think we need to do it again. But yes, this is the main event here on the Inside Edge Net. He's AA. We at Brothers Lounge in Lakewood. We got Eli also in Brothers Lounge in Lakewood. Unfortunately, there's no camera or microphone in front of him. That's a great remote strategy we have here in the production team. And I'm Rob Rozycki. We'll be right back here on the Inside Edge Net main event here. And by the way, we're going to go to midnight tonight because that's when Brothers Lounge is going to throw that one right out. So we'll be back.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Key On Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at keyonsports.com or on YouTube at Key On Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code INSIDEEDGE10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code INSIDEEDGE20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's Fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Welcome back to the main event here on the Inside Edge Net. We have Double A back with significantly better lighting. I am Rob Rozycki. Double A is in Brothers Lounge. Eli is also in Brothers Lounge. And Eli does not have the lighting that Double A does, but how are we doing, Eli?
Oh, I am good. I thought I was muted, but I am good, fellas. I am zapped. It has been a long but very blessed weekend here at the Brothers Lounge. I am outdoors here at the patio where we had music blasting. Literally yesterday, we have DJ night going on right now. Rob, good to see you. You look fantastic. Hello, everybody out there. You look fantastic. Yes, blessed weekend so far. Blessed weekend. 45 artists yesterday. DJ night tonight. DJ Chris Styles from 95.9 FM playing right now. And yeah, man, crazy. How are you guys doing? I've heard you've got some things to get off your chest while I was away.
Yeah, we talked a little LeBron. Yeah, we were good to go here. We were waiting. Just rooting for your ability to find a reliable Wi-Fi connection.
Copy.
And
Yeah.
apparently, also because he's been running around a phone charger to charge up the phone so he can go on air. It's been craziness.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad everything worked out. I'm glad we're all going here with the show and obviously with the event too all weekend. I know you've been busier than hell. I can tell in your voice too. You've been busting your ass all weekend. So I'm glad everything has worked out. What has not worked out though, it has been basically the second half of the season here for your Cleveland Guardians. Losers of 7 of 10 since the break. They have gone through a series now with Tampa Bay where they got swept and they were outscored 15-3 in those 3 games. Those 3 runs coming in the first game. Really haven't looked good since the series before the All-Star break against the Miami Marlins, who, by the way, haven't won a game since. They've lost 12 in a row. So, and really, it kind of goes back to the whole guards ball definition. I believe it comes from a Latin word that means team that can pitch but can't hit. The offense just hasn't been there, especially with runners in scoring position. They had a game a couple of days ago, 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position. I don't know how that's possible. My question to you guys, I know we had a comeback last year, but how worried are you this year that this swoon, this 5 in a row, the longest losing streak of the season right now, is here to stay? Or is this just going to be a blip in the radar and hopefully they'll be able to right this ship once Jose gets back healthy? And he's been in the lineup the last 5 games, but once he gets more acclimated to everything going on.
Yeah, I feel like, and hopefully you guys can hear me, but I feel like the big thing is this Chicago White Sox team, we didn't expect them to be here in August. Chad Bryan and I from Prime Time, we talked about the Chicago White Sox, and he said, I don't think they'll be here in August. And here we are just a few days away from August, and the Chicago White Sox are still taking care of it. So I don't know. I'm a little worried about the Guardians, the fact that they can't get a reliable offense going at certain times. And then when the offense gets going, the pitching fail. It just doesn't seem like it's clicking. So I'm a little concerned. But the good news is, Jose's just getting back from injury. So, getting his legs back under him. We know what he's capable of. And some of these other guys as well. So we'll see what happens. But not the greatest going on for the Guardians right now.
And the problem here, too, I'm just looking through, and I'll give credit to Adam the Bull from off the Cleveland Sports Show. Yeah, it's like Stephen Kwan opened the game with a double, and then Guardians went 0 for 27. 0 for 27, 2 walks and 11 strikeouts. And it's weird, and Rob, this working in the bar business for a long time. Sometimes, you're busy, you're moving around and stuff, and then you glance at the TV and you're like, how in the world did the score get that bad? Like, what the hell happened? That was yesterday. I'm roaming around Moonbash, we're here working and stuff, and I look up and I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is going on?
Well, and it is, I know Moon had a couple of comments about the pitching, and sometimes it hasn't been there, but that's what happens in the major leagues. You're not going to get, stellar pitching 162 nights. It's pretty miraculous that we've gone through. I think we use Logan Allen on a doubleheader, but every other start's been the other 5 guys. So we've had pretty good consistent starting pitching. The bullpen's been not what it was in years past, but it's still pretty good. It's the offense right now. It's Kyle Manzardo, it's Rhys Hoskins, it's David Fry. Daniel Schneemann was just sent down actually for Angel Martinez the other day. It's these basically, I hate to call them quad A kind of players, but they're below average major league veterans at this point in time. And what's killing us right now in the lineup more than anything. Yeah, Stephen Kwan's hitting now. Jose's back. Hopefully Angel will kind of get back in the swing of things too. But what's killing us right now is this first base situation. You got Hoskins and Manzardo, both barely hitting 200, if that at all. The slugging numbers aren't there. The home run numbers aren't there. The on base isn't there. And that's a position that you're supposed to rely on offensively. That's not your 140-pound second baseman who has a great glove. That's supposed to be a slugging position. And, they're trying everything they can with this lineup right now. They're having, Stephen Vogt in the front office trying to squeeze blood from a stone. This was as of 2 days ago, so I don't know what's happened with these last two lineups in this situation. But through 105 games, the Guardians used 101 lineups. They have been mixing and matching and doing everything they can to try to get something going here. You might be able to argue that maybe that much inconsistency is hurting these guys, but they're doing everything they can right now. Trade deadline is coming up in 8 days. They have to address this offense if they want to actually. They might make the playoffs in the Central. Who knows? Chicago could still collapse. But at the same time, if they want to have a meaningful playoff run against anybody who's any good, like, Tampa Bay, who is the best team in the American League, they're going to need to add to this offense. They're going to have to stop relying on Hoskins and Manzardo and Fry and all of these guys that are just kind of mulling around 200 to 210. Like that's the issue.
And there's got to be a situation where this offense needs to be entertaining. It's tough too, even with the Guardians. I just want to make clear right now they're 2.5 back of Chicago, which I believe this might be Chicago's biggest lead in the Central this year. I believe so far.
It very well could be.
So
or maybe tied with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think now that trade deadline and this week coming up, you're going to have real questions about where you want to go with this. Again, the wild card is still going to be tight, but oh man, you just got to get this offense. And thank goodness you got Cincinnati coming up these next 3 games. But
you got the Mets after that too. Yeah, you got some. Yeah, you got some slump busters in there.
Yeah, so hopefully they can get going. But I know it's baseball, but man, how long do we have to sit and say, man, can we rely on this offense to consistently get going? And it's kind of painful because it's rinse and repeat all over again, and it shouldn't be.
No, I mean, yeah. What's going on, Moon? Yeah.
I don't think Moon can hear us.
No, I think, it's more of the same. And I think that's what's frustrating fans right now is that this offense really hasn't moved much in the last couple of years. We've all known what the issues are. You need a right-handed power bat. You need some guys in this lineup who aren't 23 years old. That's the thing with this team right now is everyone calls this team a young team and, young roster, and maybe age-wise it is. But, Stephen Kwan, okay, he might be in the big leagues for 4 years. He's been in the playoffs, so I want to say 3 out of those 4, he's won a Gold Glove every one of those times. David Fry has hit big home runs for us. Tanner Bybee has started playoff games. So has Gavin Williams. We have a lot of young guys we rely on. And, Austin Hedges, Patrick Bailey, they're doing great actually catching and hitting the ball right now. But they need to have some more veteran bats to be able to rely on. And that's been the case the entire time under Stephen Vogt, the last couple of years of Terry Francona. Remember, guards ball kind of started out of necessity.
Yes.
It was the fact that we weren't hitting the ball well and we had to squeeze blood from a stone and get runs any way we could. Tito, the Boston manager, was not bunting, was not stealing, was not, playing aggressively like on that kind of a level. They had the sluggers to be able to kind of bop everybody around the bases. Here it was a different story. He had to kind of change with the roster he had. So, we're celebrating guards ball, but we're also forgetting that we're here because we kind of paint ourselves into this corner. And, guards ball is great to win a division, but these guys are going to have to ask themselves, is it going to be good enough to win a World Series? And right now it's not looking like it anyway.
So let me ask you guys this, and Stephen Kwan, I keep coming back to him. If you feel, because it's tough, because I would like to say everybody should buy, you should buy, but the way that the wild card is laid out, it's hard for everyone to buy. Do you consider trading Stephen Kwan? Do you?
I mean, it just depends on like the value at this point, because his value was as high as it could have been probably a couple of years ago, if not maybe the beginning of last year before the season really got going. I don't know if it just truly depends what the Guardians are looking to do, because if they're looking to go young and just really move on to the future, then I guess you look at Quan, you can maybe get a prospect or two for him right now. But if you feel like you're going to go make a move for a championship, the hope is that some of these recent stretches of good play by Stephen Kwan is going to turn into a good stretch. Hopefully, if the Guardians can make the playoffs, that's somebody you can rely on that has been to the postseason with the Guardians, has some experience. So it just depends. I'm confused as to why they haven't really made any moves besides Patrick Bailey. I know that they rest on their laurels of we develop and this is what we're going to do. In our call-ups and our return from injuries, these are what help us throughout the season. But I would like to see a move for something. Other teams are going to be aggressive here this upcoming week, and I would hope to see the Guardians doing so. This was a team, at least me, I was talking about at the beginning of the year. Wow, hey, they're off to a hot start. And then it turned into maybe it's them, the Rays, and the Yankees. And now we sit here in August, and they're a really bad stretch of baseball away from maybe missing the playoffs.
Well, as it stands right now, they are a wild card team. They're one game away, actually, out of third place and out of the wild card. It's the Twins right behind them. So, as bad as it has been, at least the Guardians are still alive. At least the Guardians they don't have to come back on anybody at this point in time yet. Now, I don't know how many more losses they have until that is no longer the case.
And that's what's going to make it tough. I mean, again, you got Cincinnati and Arizona this upcoming week. So, like, an interesting stretch. Cincinnati, there are no walkovers. And obviously with Terry Francona being down there, of course, who knows what could happen there in Cincinnati. And Arizona's a great baseball team. I mean, so it's going to really depend. This week will give you answers. You just hope that the hitting can get back on track. Because, again, like Parker Messick, that's that dude, man. That is that dude. And it's unfortunate that it didn't work out for him.
That's the troubling thing, though, is back on track from what? I mean, this is the way the team's been hitting by and large. I mean, yeah, they have a couple of good stretches here and there, but if you look at the last 2 or 3 years, it's the same story, just different movie. They don't have a lot of power. The average isn't there. The average this year is a little bit better than what it was last year. You don't have a lot of these. You don't have 5 guys in the lineup hitting under 200 anymore, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, that's the concerning thing is that the offense isn't slumping right now. The offense is kind of what it is now. Maybe it is slumping a little bit right now. We normally do a little bit better than run a game, over a 3-game span. But yeah, like that's why I think a change is going to have to be needed. Like, if you trade Stephen Kwan right now, the message that's going to send to the locker room, to the fan base, if you are going to compete for a championship right now this year, Stephen Kwan has to be on the roster. Unless you somehow the Yankees want to give you Ben Rice for him right now. But yeah, so if you do that, that's just going to be a bad message to send and remember what happened a couple of years ago when they traded actually for Kyle Manzardo when they shipped off Josh Bell and Aaron Savale. The team folded up after that. It was Tito's last year. The team just kind of crumpled up and was like, well, the front office doesn't give a shit. So, they're packing it up. Let's pack it up too. And I don't want that to happen. And that would happen if Kwani goes away. So, but again, if you get an offer you can't refuse, it's an offer you can't refuse.
It just depends on who's going to get that offer. It really does. It really depends on that. I will add real quick before we transition. I would like to think that, hey, adding Jose Ramirez, like a lot of people have been saying that the Guardians believe that getting Jose Ramirez back in the lineup, that's your trade deadline. That's the move. And it's like,
I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing that message coming out of the Guardians brass over the next week or so. Actually, we were when we were doing some work with the station with the team. There was somebody higher up, that was looking at one of our guys off air and was already. And this was a month ago. This was right after the injury. I think I might have even been on vacation when it went down. He was already trying to sell that very idea that Angel and Jose are going to be basically like our. Remember, they did that with Shane Bieber a couple of years ago. Whenever he had the arm injury and was coming back, oh, when he gets back and healthy, that's like a starter that we didn't have before, and that'll be our trade chip. They've done it before, and I think they'll do it again.
I hope not. I hope they do more because you can win something. Go ahead, Eli.
Yeah, I don't know really if we'll see any moves at this point. I keep stressing that. I just don't know if we'll see any moves. I feel like if they were going to make a move, they would have made one when these guys were out, when Jose was out, when Angel Martinez was out, when you were missing DeLauder for a 10-day stretch. They would have made a move then. With the lockout impending, more than likely, it seems like that's what it's going to happen for next year. I just think we're in a spot as Guardians fans where we're just going to have to rally the troops and hope this is what it is. I mean, they don't have much they can go to in terms of the farm system at this point. They can try to bring Cooper Ingle and Khalil Watson back up, but I just think the Guardians team you see right now is the Guardians team you'll see after August 3rd, and you hope that both the offense and the pitching can click at the same time. But I don't think we're seeing some crazy addition like we were hoping for, or at least I was hoping for a month and a half ago. I thought Yordan Alvarez may be a Guardian, not happening.
Well, and the other issue, too, is it's going to be even harder to kind of get these trades moving anyway. There's not a whole lot of sellers at this point in time. I mean, if you look at the standings, you got maybe 3 teams in the American League and 3 teams in the National League that are more than 6 games out of a playoff spot right now. So, maybe some of these teams, if you're the Padres or you're the Tigers, you might look and say, all right, we're 5 games out, but we have 5 teams in front of us. Let's sell. We'll see what happens. But right now, we're playing one of them coming up. The Reds are one of these teams that are going to be probably moving some contracts. So you know what? We might be able to get some scouting done over the next couple of days. But again, I kind of share your pessimism with the chances of them making a big move. I want them to, but this team over, especially under the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years, they have not been known for these big moves. So if it's going to be maybe a Brandon Geyer type guy or Lane Thomas kind of guy. I know he's actually kind of been brought up in discussions for trade acquisition. So maybe just somebody else to kind of throw in the outfield pool and maybe a reliever, who knows? But either way, the Guardians, they have some problems. They definitely do. This is the main event here on the Inside Edge Net. I am Rob Rozycki. We got AA Anthony Alford. We have Eli Moon outside. At least it's a nice night. So, you do have that going for you. He'll be with us as long as his Wi-Fi holds up and the weather is clear. I think we'll have one more quick segment left. We got to get out of here by midnight because these guys are at Brothers Lounge and they're done at midnight. So we're going to pull the plug in about a half an hour. We'll take a quick break. Come on back. And what do you guys want to do when we get back with this last segment, guys?
You know what? I think we can do the quarterback discussion because I think there's an important question heading into camp about where you want to see how this QB battle needs to be solved between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
All righty. Okay, we'll go into that one. The Browns are trying to prove the old adage wrong that when you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't even have one. They have Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson, and anybody betting on Dylan Gabriel? They got a bunch of quarterbacks. They don't really have a starter yet. We'll get into that and figure out what we've learned. Talked about Eli's extravaganza over the last couple of days, and then we'll get you going on your way before actually midnight tonight. That'll be kind of a bonus for everybody involved. Again, we got AA, we got Moon. I'm Rob. We'll be back.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Keon Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at keonsports.com or on YouTube at Keon Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code INSIDEEDGE10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code INSIDEEDGE20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's Fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Eli Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code INSIDEEDGE20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Hi, this is the main event on the Inside Edge Net. I'm Rob Rozycki. We got Double A Anthony Alford. We have Eli Moon, kind of. I can't hear anybody right now because my audio just went out.
Hi, Rob.
So I'm trying to talk and move this at the same time. So, gentlemen, we have a situation happening right now with the Browns. And the training camp is kicking in what about the rookies are actually going to be showing up next week, and the Browns have yet to have a starting quarterback named. It's going to be Deshaun Watson. It's going to be Shedeur Sanders. I kid about the whole idea with Dylan Gabriel, but where do we think this is going to go? And honestly, how long do you have of patience? How long do you have until this team is going to have to make a quarterback? I know we've been talking about it with LeBron with that decision the last couple of weeks, especially. When are you just going to sack up and do it? How long are the Browns going to have with you guys anyway until you hit that point with the quarterback spot?
I think for me, first off, Shedeur should have this, and you call it a day. But I don't know. Like Jerry Jeudy's sending out mixed signals and stuff. So Deshaun is going to make this hard because Deshaun Watson is a great practice player. He just knows more. So it's going to be tough. The realistic answer is you take everything. You take not just the preseason games, but the joint practices. You take camp. You take it all. So I would not mind if they waited until all the way till week 1 to make that choice, make that decision. And let's see if Shedeur Sanders can change minds, because right now it's Deshaun Watson's job. At this moment right now, it's his job with the money and things like that, with the contract, the experience. It's his job. It's up to Shedeur Sanders in these next 3 or 4 weeks to take the job away from Deshaun Watson. So we'll see what happens. Ideally for me, I need to see everything in this next month. No need, in my opinion, to name a starter quick. Make your decision as somebody's getting their vehicle towed right now outside. Make your decision quick, and
Nice.
You'll be in good shape.
Yeah, good shape. Oh.
Yeah, I think Moon has a front seat to it too, a front row view to this thing too.
Yeah.
So
somebody's really getting their car towed right now. Sorry, Eli. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, crazy. So I here's my problem with this is I feel like, and I've stressed this, I feel like 100 times, but I feel like we've seen the Deshaun Watson train, experience, whatever. We've seen this already, and I understand doubly the money. I understand Deshaun Watson. The Browns just want to see one more time, but it feels like recently in Cleveland, front office this year don't know when to say it's enough, and then they get the worst value, or they fall flat on the face. We're looking at the Cavaliers, and we're looking at the aftermath of the Darius Garland, James Harden situation, and one of the big negatives, whether you want to feel like the antics were too much of LeBron's decision, was when they were showing the whiteboard. Darius Garland, you're not there, and then James Harden said, we're dealing with all that, trying to figure out the Cavaliers roster. The Browns are in their own situation, but they keep going, ow, the stove's hot. And the stove here is the Deshaun Watson experience. So they put their hand on it once 5 years ago. Now they come back here 5 years later, 6 years later, and put their hand on the Deshaun Watson stove, essentially, burn their hand. That's what they'll do. I just am frustrated with it. I'm so burnt out on Deshaun Watson here in Cleveland. I don't see the benefit, even if he were to play well. You're what? You're going to pay a guy more and basically go to maybe the second round of the AFC playoffs. I just give Shedeur Sanders the ball. Don't name him the starter immediately. But I think if he comes out by week 2 and balls out of preseason, name him the starter.
Well, I think how much does the new coach, new offense, because that's a new variable, that Deshaun did not deal with. He was always dealing with Kevin Stefanski, and Lord knows, even without Deshaun in the offense, we had more than enough to say about Kevin Stefanski. So there is a little bit of a new situation with that. And then, I think if the Browns, though, were to put Deshaun in, and if he were to ball out, make a Pro Bowl, and not the Shedeur Sanders way of making a Pro Bowl, but if he's actually a legit, 3,500, 4,000 yard passer, if he actually does do well, that would be the ultimate Brownsian thing, where you would now be pressured into re-signing a guy who ultimately was the worst contract in the history of your sport. And I don't know if the Browns want to be in that spot. Like, Eli, I think, you do have something, something going on there with the fan base. They don't want Deshaun around any longer than he needs to be at this point in time. And if you give him a chance to go in, if you give him a chance to reestablish himself, either you're going to be putting yourself into a situation that you have to resign the guy, or you're going to put the fan base in a spot that they're going to be pissed as hell when he signs somewhere else. So, yeah, I mean, Shedeur is the only long-term option they really have on the roster. The only thing that I would say about maybe starting with Deshaun first, though, would be I think it would be easier to bench Deshaun and move to Shedeur than bench Shedeur and move. If you bench Shedeur, he's done. He's done here. And at least with Deshaun, if you set him down and Shedeur falls on his keister, you can bring him back up, whatever here. He's a veteran. He can handle it. With Shedeur, I think if you move off from him once, I don't think you can do it twice in the season.
Yeah, but call me crazy. Maybe if I'm on the Browns and you're already in the mindset where if it doesn't work out with Shedeur Sanders or at the quarterback room in general, that you're going to draft a quarterback. Look, I'm over the Deshaun Watson experience. At this point, Shedeur, make him earn it. If Shedeur is the starter, he falls flat on his face half a season, bring in Taylor Green. Let's see what he got. I mean, at this point, I would rather see anybody else out there and see what they have going on.
But I think it's that return on investment. And actually, if you had a gun to my head, Rozycki's layout is what I actually predicted. I think Deshaun's going to start the season, and then it's not going to come through. And I'm guessing by week 4, Shedeur goes in, because I think Rob makes a good point. This is one last chance. And I hate to say it like this because we might be done with it, but let's be real. There are certain Browns fans. They don't care who it is. They want to see a winner. So if they get a winner in any way, shape, or form, they're going to get it. But Rob, I think you're right. Going from if Deshaun starts the season and you move off of him, then that's the end of it. Deshaun's done. That's it. And for sure that the return on investment is done and it's toast. But Shedeur, the long-term issue would be if Shedeur falls, he's also not a good trade bait. Because if Shedeur falls flat on his face and then you go back to Deshaun, you got to figure out what's going on with Deshaun. And then also you just wasted somebody who you could trade in Shedeur Sanders. At least if things work out with Deshaun, which I'm just spitballing here, but if it does work out, you can look at somebody in another team and trade Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, and even if you can't, though, I'm not too worried about that just because he's a 5th-round pick. That's where that kind of helps out. You're not abandoning a first or a second-round pick. You're not worried about, recouping assets. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So, okay, I get it. Would you like to trade him and maybe get something for him? I do understand. I think that was the last we're going to see from Moon. I think his phone is probably with the Guardians offense in the shitter right now.
Yeah,
But
he's actually standing next to me on the other side of the camera.
yeah. Well, again, I think we learned a lot today with our technical issues on remotes and stuff. I'm glad you guys could be the guinea pigs while I was sitting here with a Coke Zero and watching what is it now? We got competitive paintball happening right now, so we're doing good with that.
Can I just say real quick? Can I just say real quick, Rob? This has been the last 20 minutes. The DJ here, I think it's DJ Chris Styles, who does a great job locally. He's had a mix going on right now, and I've seen, while we've been breaking down Guardians and Cleveland Browns, I see more twerking, I see more stuff going on back here while we are having our in-depth conversation about Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
Nice. I'm watching grown men getting shot in the nuts with paintballs. So I think, we're both having a good time.
Yes.
But all good things must come to an end here. Unfortunately, we're winding down. We got a few more minutes left here. We're running about 10:45 at this point. Double A, are you okay over there? You're kind of twitching and going about everything.
Yeah, it's just a fly. Again, we're close to the lake here, so that's all. Doors opening and stuff. But no, the other reason why Eli had to leave the show, because he's running Moon Bash. Brothers Lounge getting ready to shut down. He's gathering everyone to wrap things up. It's so crazy, Rob, just to see businessman Eli in action, because again, he's been interactive with almost 50 music artists plus DJs plus the staff here at Brothers Lounge. Hate to say this, Rob, but our young lad Eli Moon has grown up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was kind of weird that that he was the same dude again 10 years ago, but we're lucky if he didn't forget his phone at Denny's. So and he's always shown a remarkable ability to get his shit together when it absolutely matters most. And he was talking about this event, and hyping this up and promoting it for the last couple of months. I did not think it was going to be nearly this big. I mean, you guys have had what he said, over 60 artists go in and out of there, and you've had DJs all day today, and you're running Brothers Lounge pretty much up until last call. So, he nice work on that, especially on a Sunday night too. That's something that's kind of hard to do in July in Northeast Ohio when everybody wants to be outside. So, tip of the cap to him for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Real quick, we have time. We could do what we have learned. We could do it before we wrap, because he's wrapping everybody else up.
All right, you can go first on that one then at that point here.
Okay, so business-wise, I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of you. I know you've been going through some things on the personal side.
We're good.
I'm happy things are good. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the Rozycki household right now. I'm proud of Eli and with Moon Bash. Me personally, I had a little bit of a spiritual journey, which I'll talk more about tomorrow on the Midnight Show. But it felt pretty good. I got baptized for the first time ever. Never did it as a child. Again, family, we've always been busy. We've always, mom's been holding it down. But I never had an opportunity, and I never thought about, taking that next step spiritually. But I did this morning. I feel a lot. It's not even feeling better. It's the time is right to do it. The time has been right to do it. I've just been hard-headed and stubborn and not have gone through with it, which is the case in a lot of phases. But what I've learned a lot about myself, because times have been tough on a personal level. So I'm happy that I have the man upstairs to help me with that. And again, I'm not here to push religion at all. Honestly, it's not about religion. It's about being closer to God, being close to the man upstairs. And I feel like I have a better handle on life because of that relationship with him. So I've learned today, it's taken me 34 years to learn that having him by my side, I'm going to be good no matter what. I know, financially things are going, a little bit, family and things like that, suffering loss recently. I know I'm going to be good. So that's what I learned today.
Yeah, well, and I'll be a little later than that one. I do apologize. I've learned a bunch of things actually in the last couple of hours. I learned that there is such a thing as extreme archery, and that's basically dodgeball with arrows. That's also very fun to watch. But also two more, and yeah, just locally here in town, I learned that we're spoiled in a lot of ways. And I know we can, always complain about the weather or the news of the day, or hey, is that gunshots or fireworks, stuff like that. However, in Northeast Ohio, we are extremely spoiled when it comes down to the sports people that we don't have to worry about leaving via free agency. And that is our media guys. That's, we had Tom Hamilton going to the Hall of Fame just last year. He got the Fort Frick Award. This weekend, Cooperstown, they had their celebration there with a new class. Jeff Kent, Carlos Beltran, and Andrew Jones were actually inducted into the player wing today. But yesterday, Cleveland was yet again represented in the induction ceremony. This time with Paul Hoynes, Cleveland.com, Cleveland Plain Dealer. 6,000 bylines in the Cleveland Plain Dealer in his lifetime. That has to be a record, and it has to be a record that will never get broken. He has been grinding with this team for the last 30 years. And, we have all of these great voices in town, be it Tom Hamilton, be it Tim Alcorn, Joe Tate before him, even going all the way back, but Nev Chandler back in the day, Herb Score. We've been just blessed with an embarrassment of riches. And it also does represent itself on the print side, too. Congratulations to Paul Hoynes. It is well-deserved. Me and Dennis Maniloff, we were in the press box, I believe it was on Thursday, and we saw, it was about the fifth inning, and we see Hoynesy shut his computer, put everything into his bag, and leave. And I look at Dennis, I'm like, what's going on? He goes, yeah, he has to catch the flight to New York. Like, he was literally covering a game and covered half the game and took the red eye up to upstate New York. So yeah, he is the ultimate grinder. He is the nicest guy you'll ever want to meet. He knows more about baseball than pretty much anybody else on the planet. And we are just completely and utterly spoiled here when it comes down to the talent. And the only thing that I regret about that is that as a broadcaster here in town, locally, it just makes it that much harder to get a gig around these parts. And because when you're facing against these guys, they're fucking Hall of Famers. Hi, I've been doing this for 7 years and maybe for about a year and a half. No, you're not going to beat with but other than that, yeah, congratulations, making it great for the fans, making it great for the market. And again, these are the guys that you don't have to worry about blowing out a knee and never seeing again for another year, or leaving for a free agent contract for more money. These are the guys that live and die with you. They're in your home more than pretty much most family members are when it comes down to 162 games a year. So, yeah, I mean, congratulations to Hoynesy, congratulations to Hamilton, and congratulations to the Cleveland fan, because ultimately we're the ones who win.
Last question for you. Did you see his speech, Hoynesy?
Yeah, most of it. We actually played it on the air yesterday too. So yeah, I mean, it was, he spent, and he did what any good husband would do, and that's profusely thank and honor his wife throughout the entire experience. Because, and again, I'm not Hoynesy, I'm not Hamilton, I'm not going to all these cities every day and doing, out of market stuff every day. But, just in the last couple of years with Nikki, I've becoming, very, very keen on the sacrifices spouses have to make and loved ones have to make, because we work shitty hours on shitty days. And, the game doesn't stop. Major League Baseball has been going since 1876, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Definitely. Maybe for a labor thing. But other than that.
Yeah, definitely. And also congrats real quick to Joe Buck for also winning the same award that Tom Hamilton won a year ago.
57 years old on that one. He is in the Hall of Fame at 57 years old. That's like Barack Obama being a former president, before he's 60. Dude, you get to be the cool grandfather for a really long time.
and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame too. 2 Hall of Fames at the age of 57. Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible.
Why did my dad work at GM? Why couldn't he work at WXYZ in Detroit or whatever?
All right. Eli's giving me the signal here to the Brothers Lounge.
All right. Well,
Take us home.
yes. Our program director today is the management of Brothers Lounge. Thank you to them for hosting Moon Bash 2026. Hopefully we'll be there often, and because it's a hopping spot, and it looks like everything has been working out really well there. Congratulations to Moon for pulling off this event, and really without a hitch, except for our measly little show here at the end of the day. But you know what? All things considered, I'm sure he takes that as a win. But for everybody here in studio, for AA Anthony Alford, for Eli Moon, wherever the fuck you are, I am Rob Rozycki. Thank you guys for being with us for about a little over an hour and 15 minutes. We couldn't do it without you. And make sure to check AA out on Midnight Run next, just in 24 hours from now. We got Moon on the air too. Full slate of action for the Inside Edge Net. Again, for everybody here in studio, I'm Rob Rozycki. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you when we see you.